today to join my ancestors. Promise me one thing.
Anything, Andy?
Teach the world gung-ho. Too many spirits die at the office door.
I will, Andy.
Gung-ho, friend.
No. Gung-ho had been our special greeting for many years. This one was to be our last. I was thinking about how to fulfill my promise to Andy when I recognized Kim Blanchard and Sheldon Bowles. They'd been in town and scheduled a meeting with me to talk about our success at Walton Works. I'm sorry I missed our meeting earlier. It's been a bad day. Excuse me for bothering you, but I need your help.
Oh, will you join us?
Oh, thank you.
Today you're part of fulfilling Peggy's promise to Andy Longclaw. You're about to see the story that Peggy told us.
We're honored to be part of the gung-ho story. May your spirit come alive at your office door.
Our story begins some years earlier. It's one of the greatest business turnaround stories ever. An idea called gung-ho. Who would have thought 6 years at head office and now my own plant? That excitement lasted exactly 1 hour. This place was in major trouble, and so was I. Are these numbers correct? Out of 32 plants in the entire system, we're number 32?
Well, we were 31 last quarter.
Apparently, the only thing functioning around here is the finishing department. In fact, according to this, it's the best department in the entire system.
Maybe by the numbers, but if I were you, I would seriously consider making some changes around there, starting with the guy that runs it.
Really, who's that?
Andy Longclaw. He is nothing but a headache. One of these hot-headed Indian types.
Excuse me, hot what?
Look, I don't know where the guy got his MBA, but he has got some strange ideas about management.
Well, apparently he knows how to make something work around here. May we continue? To top things off, who was waiting for me but old man Morris, my boss. Mr. Morris, hello.
Oh, where have you been?
I've
been waiting for 15 minutes. Now, I assume you had a chance to review the numbers?
We came in last. 32 out of 32 hasn't shown a profit in the last 7 quarters. Yes, I've reviewed them.
Then I don't need to tell you of my concern about this place. You know what they say, a sinking ship pulls the whole fleet down.
Right.
Good. I'm giving you 6 months.
6 months for what?
6 months to pull this company out of the red. Otherwise, we're going to have to shut you down.
But that's not...
I said 6 months. Have a nice day.
I found out later that the job had been offered to several other people. They had enough sense to turn it down. After work, I needed to collect my thoughts. Mind if I sit down?
Sure.
You okay?
Not really. I think I'm going to be fired.
Why?
Some new lady just took over, and I hear she's a real wicked witch of the West. One of the managers says she's going to fire me.
Really? It's a good reason to feel down.
Yeah, well, hey. You don't look so happy either.
I think I'm going to be fired pretty soon myself.
Really? Where do you work?
Same place.
You're kidding.
I just started. Peggy Sinclair, Wicked Witch of the West. And you must be Andy Longclaw.
Well, that's it. Now I know I'm fired.
Not by my hand. I may be Wicked Witch, but I'm no fool.
What do you mean?
You run the best department in the whole plant. In fact, in the whole system. How do you do it?
Gung-ho.
Gung-ho.
Yeah, everybody in our department is gung-ho. It means working together. I learned it from my grandfather.
Can you teach me?
Are you kidding me?
The only thing I'm sure of is this place is in serious trouble. If you have an answer, I want to hear it.
Well, maybe, but gung-ho isn't a quick fix. It took me 5 years to gung-ho my department.
I know, but If it keeps this plant open, I want to know.
All right. Let's try. At least we'll be able to say we did our best.
Okay, so what's gung-ho?
Spirit of the squirrel, way of the beaver, and gift of the goose.
Huh?
The 3 steps to gung-ho. Start with spirit of the squirrel. Meet me tomorrow after work. I'll show you then.
Okay.
Gung-ho, friend.
Gung-ho. I was a bit skeptical. So the next morning, I went in early to check out Andy's finishing department for myself. Wow.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm Peggy Sinclair, the new plant manager.
Oh, welcome to the finishing department, Miss Sinclair. I'm Bill Buckley.
Nice to meet you.
My pleasure. Would you like me to show you around?
Please. So different from the rest of the plant.
Yes, ma'am. We do things a little differently here.
How so?
Gung-ho, ma'am. We're all gung-ho.
What is gung-ho?
Well, that means we choose to enjoy each day and work hard to make it more productive than the last.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, that it is. Can I show you what I mean?
Please. That afternoon, I met with Andy and his motorcycle. Hi there.
Here. You'll need to wear this
Where are we going?
to learn spirit of the squirrel. Don't worry. I'm a very safe driver.
If you'd have told me I'd been spending my second day as a plant manager on the back of a motorcycle, I'd have said you were crazy.
We're here.
It's wonderful.
My grandfather let me here many years ago. Teach me gung-ho. It's time to discover spirit of the squirrel. You sit here and watch the squirrels. I'll sit under this tree over here and take a nap.
A nap? You're going to teach me spirit of the squirrel.
Well, not exactly. You're going to learn. I'm going to nap. Tell me what you've learned when I wake up.
I wasn't quite sure what squirrels had to tell me, but they were darn hard workers.
You learn anything yet?
I'm not sure, but if the people at the plant worked anything like these squirrels, the place would be booming.
I agree. But the question is, why do these squirrels work so hard?
I don't know, because they're motivated.
Why?
They have a goal. They're motivated because if they don't store up enough food, they won't survive the winter.
That's right. They're motivated because their work goes beyond important. It's worthwhile. The spirit of the squirrel is worthwhile work. Worthwhile work motivates squirrels and can motivate people. If you want people to work with spirit of the squirrel, they must first understand why their work is important, why it makes the world a better place.
It's a very noble idea, but our plant, it's not like we're saving lives or anything.
It's the understanding, not the work itself. Most any job you can name makes the world a better place. Tell me, what's the most meaningless job you've ever had?
Washing dishes at my college cafeteria.
Dishwashing, not important. Think of the contribution you made to all those students. One load of bacteria-infected dishes could have wiped out the whole class.
Huh. I guess it all depends on how you look at it.
One of the surest ways to feel good about yourself is to understand how your work makes a contribution. That's the beginning of Spirit of the Squirrel.
Spirit of the Squirrel begins by helping people understand how their work is important. That's first.
Second, you need a well-understood and shared common goal. Not just some benchmark set by management, but a goal decided on and shared by everyone.
The third point is values. Values are the real boss. They drive all plans, decisions, and actions. Goals are for the future. Values are for now. Goals are set. Values are lived. Goals change. Values are the rocks you can count on. It's the job of the leader to ensure that values be respected by everyone, every time. And remember, Spirit of the Squirrel works in all industries, not just manufacturing.
Spirit of the Squirrel. Worthwhile work. Number 1, knowing we're making the world a better place. 2, everyone works towards a shared goal. 3, values guide all plans, decisions, and actions.
I was so impressed by Spirit of the Squirrel that I put it to use first thing the next morning.
I have a question for you. Why are we here? What's so important about what we do?
What do you mean?
I mean, if none of us showed up for work tomorrow, if we stopped putting out product, who would miss us?
Well, our customers would, I guess.
Their customers and all the people who buy their customers' products.
Exactly. So in our own little way, there are a lot of people who depend on us, who need us.
Okay. So what's the point?
The point is, what we do is important and worthwhile and make the world a better place. Let me explain. I could tell from their faces that they thought I was crazy.
So, what'd you think?
I think the last thing this place needs right now is a lot of touchy-feely hoo-ha.
Don't you think it's kind of, uplifting to know that what we do here is important?
We make parts for things. Who cares?
Well, I think a lot of people would care if they just knew. Watch. How many of you know what we make here at this plant?
Stuff. I don't know. Parts mostly.
Well, what kind of parts?
For farm equipment, I think. No big deal.
Well, I think it is a big deal. Take the parts that we make for farm plows. I mean, our products make it possible for farmers to plow the field and, have better crops.
Yeah, I guess.
Thanks to you, farmers are helping feed hungry people throughout the world.
What good do you think that did?
People feel good when they have some pride in what they do, when they know that their work is worthwhile.
As the weeks passed, the spirit of the squirrel began to filter throughout the plant. People were talking not only about what was worthwhile about their work, but also about goals.
Got an order for 2,000 of those 2-inch spindles, and they're due out by Friday. Can we do it?
Friday? No way.
Why not?
We don't have the materials.
Purchasing says they can get it for us by noon.
Then we should be able to do it then, right?
Okay, tell sales it's no problem.
People also started talking about values and what we as a plant should value.
Remember when Dan came down this morning and asked us about inventory? Don't you think it's time we started treating him with a little respect instead of always giving him a bad time?
Look, it's nothing personal. It's just been harmless fun.
You think Dan knows that? I don't think it's funny anymore. I think we need to start respecting him.
I don't think Dan thinks it's funny. He's just doing his job.
Can we start treating not only Dan, but everybody with respect? If we truly trust and respect each other, we need to seek out and listen to each other's opinions.
We were making progress. Unfortunately, the clock was ticking. Then, I got a call from Old Man Morris. Yes, sir, there has been little improvement. You've just got to give us more time. Forget it. He was sticking hard to his 6-month deadline, which was now just 5 months away. Have a nice day yourself, sir. I tried to impress on Andy the urgency of the situation.
Gung-ho isn't a quick fix.
But what happens if we run out of time?
Then at least we can walk away with our heads held high.
Our heads held high, right. So when do I learn the next step?
Well, Wave the Beaver comes with the first big rain.
And when is that?
One moment while I consult the rain spirit.
The rain spirit?
Willard Scott. Followed by Sandy the Weather Lady. Said last night there's an 80% chance of precipitation this weekend. I'll pick you up.
Okay. Saturday morning, Andy picked me up for our next lesson. The Way of the Beaver.
It's a little wet.
So, where are we going?
Oh, patience, my friend. Ready for a hike?
I guess so. First, a motorcycle. Now, a trek through the forest primeval.
I hope you're planning on falling asleep on me this time.
No, we have work to do. Come on, it's just ahead. Stop, here. Look, that's their lodge over there.
You mean that pile of sticks?
That's it. The entrance is underwater, so it's critical that they keep the water level high.
Spirit of the squirrel.
Exactly. But there's more going on here. Watch. The Way of the Beaver answers the question, who's in charge? Who's the boss beaver? Can you tell?
Doesn't look like anyone's in charge.
But if no one's in charge, then who tells each beaver what to do?
I guess they all tell themselves.
That's it. The Way of the Beaver means in control of achieving the goal. Each beaver is in control of their work. They decide how the work's going to be done without anyone bossing them around.
Unlike Walton Works, too.
Yes. If everybody has spirit of the squirrel, but management makes people do everything management's way, that organization won't be gung-ho.
But don't people need someone to tell them what to do? I mean, you can't expect them to figure it out for themselves. That would be chaos.
No, it won't. Not if they understand the goal, and we give them the information and the training they need. Our people lead teams, church groups, and even school boards. These are smart people. The waiver means they don't have to check their brains at the door. When they come to work, they can bring their thoughts, feelings, needs, and dreams.
Well, what does management do?
Managers make sure that everyone shares the same goals and values. They help choose the team and train them. And then once that's done, they have to let the people who do the work do the work. It's management's job to know where the plant's going. It's their team members' job to get them there.
Consider another analogy, a sports team. It's the job of the leadership to define the playing field and the rules of the game. The coach decides who plays what position, but the coach has to get off the field so the players can move the ball.
The way of the beaver also calls for sharing information so others can make good decisions. Also, you need to assign jobs that fit their abilities, but jobs that can offer a challenge. The way of the beaver, in control of achieving the goal. Number 1, a playing field with clearly marked territory. Number 2, thoughts, feelings, needs, and dreams are listened to and acted upon. Third, able but challenged.
Way of the beaver meant getting managers to give up their most prized possessions, power and control.
Since your people know the process better than any of us, what would happen if you let them decide how to meet the goals? Do you think you'd get better results?
Well, it makes some sense, but, I don't know.
Wanna try it?
Oh, can you believe this? What is the matter with you guys? How many times do I have to show you how to do this? Sorry, guys. Tell me, if you don't mind me asking, is there any particular reason you do it that way?
Well, it keeps our fingers clear. Well, it's faster that way, too.
Show me.
Sure. Look, this way, there's 2 steps. The other way, there's 3. And on the third one, you can't see your fingers, so you have to go slow to be careful.
Huh. Maybe you're right.
Way of the beaver, Vince.
Over the next few weeks, the way of the beaver spread throughout the plant. At every level, I began seeing managers stepping back and letting their people go.
On this upcoming project, I'm thinking of having you take over for me on quality control. You're out on the floor more than I am. Makes more sense for you to do it.
I think I can handle it.
Good. Jerry, I'm thinking of putting you in charge of inventory. What do you think? Are you up for it?
Absolutely.
We were making progress,
Hello, everybody.
but I decided it was time for a cold dose of reality.
I've got some good news and some bad news. First, the bad news. Unless we can get this plant operating in the black in the next 3 months, head office is going to shut us down.
They can't close us down that soon.
Now the good news. To keep this plant open, all we have to do is bring it up to par with the rest of the system.
How?
We're already doing it. Do you know we have the most productive department in the whole system right here?
What are you talking about?
When's the last time any of you took a tour of the finishing department?
Well, like I said, it's kind of a mess.
This place is nicer than my office. How'd you pull this off?
Well, it took a while. When I first came here, they were miserable, and then I realized that nothing was going to change until I changed. And nothing is going to change at Walton Works until we as managers change.
These are last month's sales figures. I thought these were confidential.
We have no secrets here. If the team is going to make good decisions and be gung-ho, then they need to know everything pertaining to their work.
How are you folks this morning?
We're fine, thank you. Everyone's working so hard. Why is that?
Andy doesn't tell us how to do our job. That's up to us.
Attention, shipping M317 at 1 o'clock. On time and perfect for $12,750.
Great job, everybody. Great job.
What was that?
But we just shipped a job for $12,750. On time and 100% perfect.
There's a lot of good things happening here. We make sure everybody hears about them.
My last job, I had to go to work. I don't feel that way here.
The spirit of the squirrel was bringing new energy to the way people did their jobs. The way of the beaver was showing up in the way managers related to employees. So even Vince was turning around. But unfortunately, time was running out.
I just came by to let you know that it's time to learn. Gift of the goose. See you tomorrow at 7?
Good, because we're running out of time. The next morning, we drove 50 miles to a big marsh outside of town.
I want you to know I haven't done this since high school.
Well, you take the front. I'll do the steering.
What a noise.
Exactly. But here's the key question. Who are they honking at?
I don't know at each other.
Right. But what's the message?
Well, they can't be warning each other of trouble. They're all honking at the same time.
So what are they saying?
That everything's great.
That's it. Gift of the goose. Cheering each other on. And just listen to them. These geese fly thousands of miles every year, and they do it by cheering each other on every step of the way.
They all honk, not just the leaders. So it doesn't have to be the managers cheering everyone else on. We can all cheer each other.
Exactly. Gift of the goose is for everybody, team members and managers. I mean, cheering generates enthusiasm.
You're right. It's a point I forgot.
Gift of the goose is a spark that lights the fire. The spirit of the squirrel, worthwhile work, and way of the beaver, in control of achieving the goal come first. The three together is what a mission is all about.
Think about a basketball game where no one keeps score and the fans don't cheer. Pretty bleak, huh? Players need the enthusiasm of the crowd to keep them going, and people on the job are no different. Remember, the best cheers need to be true. T-R-U-E. Timely, responsive, unconditional, and enthusiastic.
But what do you do if there's nothing to cheer about? First, you have to practice seeing the positive. That's tough to do if you believe your job is to look for things people are doing wrong. Second, you can always encourage team members. And that's a powerful cheer. It sends a message. You're good. I know you can do it.
At a game, the crowd doesn't sit quietly in the stands until the team scores. They're cheering their team on all the time. Don't wait until your goals are met to start cheering people on in your organization. Cheer the progress, not just the results, and keep cheering the whole game.
When giving cheers, remember the formula E equals MC squared. Enthusiasm equals mission times cash and congratulations. First comes payment for a job well done, then the congratulations.
Gift of the goose. Cheering others on. 1. Active or passive congratulations must be true. T-R-U-E. 2. No score, no game, and cheer the progress. 3. E equals MC squared. Enthusiasm equals mission times cash and congratulations.
Gift of the goose caught on. Before long, we were all cheering each other on. Of course, there are always a few that change slowly.
Vince, you make an important contribution around here. Nobody knows the nuts and bolts better than you do.
I appreciate you saying that.
And I can't tell you exactly how to do your job. You've been here for years. You know your people far better than I do.
True.
And I know I can trust you to be honest with me.
Thank you.
So will you do something for me? Will you look around this plant and see if gung-ho is changing things? And if it is, ask yourself, what's different? A manager can do more than push his teammates. He can motivate them. And you can too.
That is all very well and good, but you know as well as I do it is going to take more than a few happy people to move this place into the black.
Maybe Vince was right. But gung-ho was working. Progress was just slow. Then one day I got the news I'd been waiting for.
Good news. Look at these.
Great, the numbers are turning. Wait till I tell Andy.
Unfortunately, though, old man Morris wasn't as impressed.
Peggy Sinclair, why aren't you up in your office where you belong?
Mr. Morris, what a pleasant surprise.
I saw your profit report from last month.
And?
Don't think that pathetic few dollars you made is going to change my mind.
But, sir, you said if we could push this place into the black, that you...
I'd hardly call this little piece of number juggling in the black. From where I stand, this place is still a sinking ship.
Sir.
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't close this place down.
I'll give you 3. And if you allow me to continue doing them for the next 3 years, you'll need a wheelbarrow to cart the money out of this place. They're simple. We've learned that what we do is worthwhile. It makes a difference. We understand and share our goals, and we let values guide our plans, decisions, and actions.
Very noble. But the fact is, this place is hardly breaking even. Right now, I don't see a wheelbarrow in your future. What are you doing to change that?
Our managers have stopped telling their people what to do and allow the team members to use their own knowledge and talent. And we're telling our team members when they do a good job. We both want that. It's motivating and it works. And beside, Mr. Morris, you made us a deal. The next month, we did even better. 12 months went by and we'd risen from plant number 32 to 21. And gung-ho had changed us too. The way we worked and the way we lived. Well, that's the story I told to Ken and Sheldon the night that Andy died. And I knew I'd keep the last promise I made to Andy. Ken and Sheldon agreed. Too many spirits were dying at the office door. They would help tell the gung-ho story. And Andy had one last surprise for me. He left me this beautiful cabin. Sometimes I shut my eyes and remember riding down the road with my good friend. Gung-ho, Andy.
Spirit of the Squirrel, worthwhile work. It's discovering why your work is important, developing shared goals, and insisting that values guide everything you do.
And the way of the beaver. Team members in control of achieving the goal. Managers defining the field, but then getting off the field and letting their team members score.
Finally, the gift of the goose. Cheering each other on. Looking for the positive. Congratulations that are timely, responsive, unconditional, and enthusiastic. You're probably wondering if the story is true or not.
The real question you should be asking is it true for you? Andy's secrets will work for any kind of organization. And they'll work for you. But it takes time. It's not a quick fix. It's a way of life. Gung-ho, friend.
Gung-ho, friend.